Hey, it's John Feldmann from Goldfinger, and you're watching Thank God for Jury Duty.
Okay. So some people would say Goldfinger is a ska band, and some people don't. How would you describe Goldfinger?
That's a great question. When we first started out, the first concert I ever saw was the English Beat, which was a ska band for all intents and purposes from the 80s, the Beat.
Yeah.
And so that influenced me dramatically when I was a kid. And so when I started Goldfinger, I wanted to have a lot of that influence. But I also love Social Distortion. I love Metallica. I love all kinds of music. So like the breakdown of If Only is like, I have like these moments of like Korn in there because I love Korn as well. So I don't think we're a ska band, no, because the Planet Smashers are a ska band, right? I think that we play rock music and sometimes ska creeps in.
So how do you first develop your love for music?
I first developed my love for music by listening to the Star Wars soundtrack when I was a kid. That was the first album I ever bought. It was John Williams' Star Wars, and it was just like, this really emotional, dun 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 dun, very melodic music, and I'm like, there's just something about it that made me feel something inside. And so from there it went to The Who, and then the Sex Pistols, and then Social Distortion, and then Queen. And so those were the bands that all made me feel something. I just wanted to get out of myself, like a way to escape, the bullshit of school and parents and all that stuff. So yeah, that's kind of how I got into it.
Cool. I read somewhere too, it said that your dad would only let you listen to musicals.
Yeah, before Star Wars, it was really only musicals in the house. It was The Sound of Music, Music Man, Oklahoma. It was just all like old school musicals. That was what he allowed us to listen to. We thought it was wholesome and pure. And I think he had a really big crush on Julie Andrews and Sound of Music as well. So we watched The Sound of Music probably every other week. That definitely influenced me as well, as far as like the cinematic stuff, like a song like Hand Jobs for Jesus, which probably to my dad's chagrin was influenced by musicals, the big kind of 7-minute opus that song is, probably because of all those musicals as a kid. I wrote it.
That's funny. I was gonna ask about that soon. But so how did you find like the other bands if you weren't allowed to like listen to them, or how did you listen to them? Or
at the time I'd be at friends' houses and we would just listen to stereos and stuff, and it was really like I don't know, just through Thrasher magazine, through like Skateboarder magazine. They'd have ads at the back of for Posh Boy, for SST, for Frontier Records, all these epic record labels. When I was a kid that put out all these punk records, I would find out about these bands through skateboarding.
That's cool. You had on Instagram that you played the clarinet. Like, did you want to play the clarinet, or how'd that come about?
That was definitely my parents saying, this will be a good instrument for you because it's not too big, it's small, and you'll be able to be in the marching band. So they definitely pushed that one on me for sure. But I was a kid, you do what your parents say when you're young.
Yeah, that's like in middle school. I wanted to play the trumpet, and my mom was like, we already have a clarinet here, and so that's how I started playing the clarinet. But yeah, I always wanted to play the trumpet, but they're like, you have braces, you shouldn't do it. But I thought that was funny that you played the clarinet.
It's bad for your embouchure, right? That's the muscles it takes,
How many people were born after 1994 that are here tonight? Well, I guess. I used to sell shoes for a living, and back in those days, we had a little cassette tape, and I had my cassette tape with the shoe podium with 4 songs. It was Miles Away, Anxiety, Here in Your Bedroom, and I Believe. And if you guys don't know what a fucking cassette tape is, you can fuck off, people. Anyway, our man got signed his ice old shoes. Now it's your turn to sing along. You ready? Whoa!
Oh yeah, I read in an interview, this is kind of what you're talking about, you're excommunicated from the church for shaving your head, like...
I wasn't excommunicated. Maybe I was being a little dramatic about that. But when I got confirmed, I was raised Catholic, and so when I got confirmed, I shaved my head and put a safety pin in my ear, and they were very, very upset with me, for sure. But they still let me get confirmed because I guess Jesus doesn't judge your hairstyle, so I guess we were good with that. But yeah, I mean, being raised Catholic definitely influenced me a lot. You know, like the idea, like around Christmas time, I love all those big Catholic hymns. I love going to church around Christmas, bringing my kids to that now as a tradition. You know, it's and you know, as a kid I rebelled against it, but as an adult I like the structure.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, because I didn't know if you, never knew you had a religious background.
Yeah, Christian.
That's cool. So like, is this where hand jobs from Jesus came from?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think ultimately, you know, when I pushed back from the church, like it became, I don't know, like logically it just doesn't make sense. I feel like I'm a logical man, and I feel like that of course that there's some higher force, a higher power. To me, it makes more sense that there's some guiding force that holds us with gravity on the planet, that, you know, kind of keeps everything in line. The math of it all, the math just makes sense that there's some design, you know, some creature or divine entity created this. It doesn't, like a butterfly doesn't make logical sense to me. But the idea that one man created this all doesn't make any sense. If I came out of my mother, why would it be a dude? And so much of it doesn't make logical sense. So I wrote that song sort of as a joke, and also as a rebellion against my Catholic upbringing.
Yeah, I always thought, oh my, it seemed kind of angry. That's what I was like. But yeah. Oh yeah, so orthodontist girl.
Yeah.
Does she like know she has a song about her?
She's my little orthodontist girl living in a sterile world. I love that song so much. Josh Dunn from 21 Pilots played drums on that one.
Oh, cool.
He really, it was really nice of him to do that. He's a lovely man. She has no idea, but I don't think it would be. I mean, I love my wife, and I'm married a long time, and I'm in a great marriage, and I don't think that would be. Yeah, I'm not going to tell some other.
I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, it is funny, and it's a funny song, and I love it. It's one of my favorite Goldfinger songs of all time.
Did you like still go there after you wrote the song?
No, I was done. I had
had
a crazy surgery on my jaw to help with sleep apnea. And so she was my orthodontist when I was getting all this stuff done. And so that was, and it was like, you know, same thing. Like the whole song talks about it. It was just, it happened.
So there's like, was there an issue with like Real Big Fish and like Mojo Records and maybe like you guys too about like the rights and like you had to like re-release stuff to get it done, or what happened?
Yeah, I can't say I've got a great relationship with Jay Rifkin. I haven't talked to him in probably 20 years. He's the guy that started Mojo Records with Hans Zimmer. You know, Hans was his college roommate, and you know, I'll just give you. I mean, when I discovered Real Big Fish, opening for the Skeletones, I discovered this band, and they played Sellout, and I knew it was a huge song. And I met Scott Kloppenstein, and I was like, dude, you have to let me bring you into my label and introduce you to these guys. I just think your band's amazing. And I brought him into Patrick, who discovered me, my A&R guy, and we brought it to Jay Rifkin, and he signed Real Big Fish, and he got him, you know, Jay got this massive deal at Universal Records, you know, because he had us, Real Big Fish, and then Real Big Fish brought him to Cherry Poppin' Daddies. And I just said, hey man, maybe I could, you know, get some sort of like a bonus or like a little, like a couple bucks for, and he said, and I said, maybe you could take me out to dinner, because he said no. And he said no. He wouldn't take me out to dinner. And I'm like, all right, if this is what's going on in the real world, if this is my goodwill and this is how you repay me, you can fuck off.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like,
you're asking me for help, but I got to say, fuck no.
the line, like, if you think it's good and like someone else will probably think it's good, do you tell people you're working with this? Because I always like that.
You mean a new artist?
Yeah, like you had a thing, it was in an interview or something, you're like kind of people, like if you like it, like someone else out there probably likes it too.
You mean a new band?
Well, just in general, I thought that was a cool thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. You see, this could have been you right here with your trumpet, touring with Goldfinger.
That'd be cool.
Tonight, right now, playing trumpet. Yeah, I mean, I think that like ultimately, when I'm in the studio, if I'm writing a song and if I'm like, I love this,
Yeah.
I know at least one other person's gonna love it too, you know. And if I can make myself cry in a song,
Yeah.
someone else may feel that same emotion. So
Yeah.
that's the whole idea for me of songwriting, is like, how do I put the most amount of emotion into songs that I write that I can?
Yeah. So do you like take a different approach, like if you have like a smaller artist versus like a mainstream? Because I saw you work with a lot of famous people like now.
Yeah, I mean, I think every artist is different. It doesn't matter how big or small they are, but every artist is different. So I take a different approach to everybody, because ultimately it's going to be their music. If
Yeah.
I'm writing with them or if I'm producing them, like ultimately it's going to be their song. So I want them to lead the charge. I want to pull something out of them that speaks to their experience.
Yeah.
You know, and so whether they're a new band or a huge superstar, I mean, I just want that same experience to have happen with every artist.
Yeah. Because I look at your Instagram, it's just kind of weird to me because I'm used to you being like from Goldfinger and like Show Off, and now you're like, you have all the like big mainstream people.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's really impressive.
Thanks for
Like,
being with us for so long.
Because I like
as
Show
well.
Off a lot.
I love Show Off.
He knows when you're away. He knows when you've been bad or good, so we go for goodness.
I guess what's something people would be surprised to know about you?
Well, I have web toes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you like have a hobby or collect anything?
I box. I'm a boxer. I don't know if that's a secret, but it's like a hobby
Okay.
for sure. I like to surf. I mean, I do what I love, so what I do is kind of a hobby still. Producing records and writing music is still like a hobby. I love it.
Do you have a favorite movie and a favorite TV show?
Braveheart's probably my favorite movie, unless it's American Pie or unless it's something about Mary.
Okay.
And TV shows, I mean, Game of Thrones and Lost are my two all times, for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you like
love Lost.
Did you like the ending of Lost?
I didn't mind it. I mean, everyone was
No.
so bummed about it, but it was like, and we all kind of knew it was purgatory from the beginning,
Yeah.
and so it was kind of like the reveal wasn't as special as we hoped, but
Yeah.
I didn't mind it.
Oh, yeah.
It was emotional saying goodbye to all the characters.
Yeah. I mean, I watched all of them. I don't know. I was a little let down.
Yeah.
What's your like proudest accomplishment?
My kids,
Oh.
for sure, Julian and Mila.
Okay. Is there like a song that people liked that you were surprised that they like caught on?
Superman, for sure.
Really?
I
Yeah.
was really surprised that people liked that song. I wrote it in like 15 minutes, and I just thought it was really cool, but I didn't know it was going to be our biggest song of all time.
Okay, cool.
I had no idea.
Was there like one that you really liked and then people were like, oh,
Counting the Days.
I like that. I like that video a lot.
Yeah, I thought Counting the Days would have been our crown jewel. I thought that song historically would have been our biggest song, but it just isn't.
Oh, I like the video. It's funny.
It is so funny. We filmed that in Germany.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. What do you, where to go? What is your writing process like? Do you already have like ideas or do they come to you or?
So when I'm writing for myself, I like to, think about, like memories, stuff like that, whether it's like with my daughter, like imagining her being a woman, I think about like what that story looks like and how time, tends to go really fast, and I'll write a song about that, or I'll write a song about my dog who liked to ride in cars, and we had a song called Car Dog, So, I mean, everything is very, it just depends on where I'm at, If I'm in a good headspace, I'm writing something up-tempo. If I'm depressed, I'm writing an emo song.
If you could go back in time, would you do anything differently?
I would have produced My Chemical Romance.
Oh, really? Why didn't you?
I was overwhelmed at the time. I was doing so much shit, and it wasn't meant to be.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to accomplish you haven't done yet?
Anything else I want to accomplish?
Yeah, you haven't done yet, or?
I want to win, for sure. I want to win a Grammy. Yeah, I want to. I'd love to produce Coldplay. I don't know. Yeah, my work shit. I just want to keep going.
Okay, cool. I guess, can you tell people where they can find you and check you out on social media or whatever?
Sure. At John Feldy on Instagram and Twitter.
Okay. Is there anything you want people to? Oh, anything you want to promote or anything? I don't know. Let's say.
I don't know. I just think that the idea of me saying every day, I love my life.
Yeah.
I think if there's anything to promote, it's positive thinking. A positive mental attitude is the most important thing you can have in your life.
Cool. Okay. Well, thank you.
I'm sorry I let you down, but I have a social distortion tattoo, so fuck all y'all! I win! We're gonna play something. Anyone hear our first album, #1, Goldfinger, self-titled?